3 years ago, my son is always dressed in Spider-Man costume and climbing the wall, as usual, trying to discover these web shooters that were hidden in his hands, trying to imitate his favorite movie. And he had this crazy idea to fly from a wall to wall. He fell on the ground. He was seriously injured, deep wound. He cut his chin. That was a real shock for me. The blood everywhere. I squeezed him tightly in my arms and I'm crying and screaming. That was really tough. He looked at me strangely, like, "What are you doing, Mom?" Because it is the first time he saw me crying, as I'm this tough mother who have no mercy on others. He kept batting on my back and said, "Mom, don't worry, I'm not gonna die." Die? And after this, I had this crazy idea that I regretted after a while to call his father. "Hello, yes, where are you now?" "What? Where are you now? Why you don't want to answer me? Just please, baby, stop crying." "Who's crying? Don't change the subject. Where are you now?" "Do I hear some girls beside you?" You know what? I'm fed up. Do whatever you want in your life." "Oh, baby, this blood, this chin, this wound. Oh, I forgot. Hello, where are you now?" "Don't lie to me this time. I know what's going. Okay, I remembered. Your son cuts his chin and he needs to go to the hospital right now. Right now. I'm waiting for you." And I hang up. And for the third time, I went to my son, squeezed him again, and crying. Can you believe this? For 20 minutes, just whining, screaming, and arguing. And I have these terrible, awkward thoughts, and maybe the worst scenarios that came through my mind. And after this, I stopped for a moment. "What are you doing, Rania? For God's sake, what are you doing? You need to now do the right thing." And within 5 minutes, I went to the hospital and everything went perfect there. And I didn't talk to his father because I don't want to be distracted by other issues. But that was like a breaking point in my life. Why? Because I acted weirdly. I acted in a very strange way. What the hell was going on? You know, I was paralyzed by my fears. I was just want to run away from this situation at all costs. After this wake and call, I call it like wake and call. I dig deep more in myself, more and more. I want to increase my self-awareness. I want to control my emotions. I read multiple books and tremendous studies. And they all show just one thing. Controlling emotions comes from inside, comes from the way of thinking. You need to control your emotions. Don't let them control you. Right? After this, unfortunately, 5 months ago, I was with my son at the club and he got injured too. But this time, all his face was in blood. I spent like seconds just to figure out where is the wound in his face. But this time, I tried to collect myself to the most. Every time my hand shakes, I say to myself, "Rania, focus. You need to deal with this critical situation." I wore this fake smile to calm him down and calm myself too. And I went to the hospital and everything went perfectly. I was truly proud of myself. Why? Because I controlled my emotions. Every time I find that something will go out of my hand, I said, "Focus, Rania, everything is gonna be perfect." We are most of the time followers to our moods. Our moods affect us, and it's okay. Let's face it, we are all emotional creatures, right? We react naturally emotionally towards many things, even if the critical and serious situations. And it's okay, we all human beings. But the most important thing is that this thing not affect your physical health or mental health, or your mindset toughness, right? In a nutshell, try to spend more time regulating, enhancing, improving your emotions, controlling over your emotions. Why? Because if you let them control you, you will live a very bad life. But if you are the one who is controlling this kind of emotions, you will live happily, inshallah. Thank you.